According to the United States Fire Administration, more than 4,000 Americans are killed and 20,000 injured by fire each year. Education and preparedness are key to reducing these numbers. With October being National Fire Prevention Month, now is an excellent time to talk about fire safety. Let's join Officer Aaron White and Fire Marshal Jeff Seams, who will specifically focus on preventing kitchen fires.
Thanks, Brian. We're in the kitchen today, and no, we're not turning this into a cooking show, but rather we're going to talk fire safety because October is Fire Prevention Month. And to do that, today I'm joined by Jeff Seams, the Fire Marshal for the City of Edina. Jeff, thanks for being on the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
If you could, give us the quick once-over. What does a Fire Marshal do in the city?
Well, the main thing that we do as a fire marshal in the Fire Prevention Office is we want to make sure that we prevent fires. We do that through education and through enforcement.
And that's the key word I heard is prevention. When we think firefighters, we think the cool stuff, right? The red trucks, sirens, water hoses, and all that. The truth, though, is we're really moving towards trying to prevent these things. And we would rather not have that dramatic response out to your home, right?
Absolutely. If we can prevent it, that helps everyone.
And like I said, we're in the kitchen, and the key there is the kitchen is where a lot of these fires start. Talk about that a little bit.
It is. Actually, about half of the fires that occur in structures occur around cooking. And that's pretty much the same for Edina as it is nationwide.
Okay. And the truth to that is this stove, these appliances, these things aren't just bursting into flames all of a sudden. The reality is it's a combination of people and their actions along with this cooking equipment. Talk about that.
It is. It's a matter of making good choices and being prepared. The number one thing that we can do is constantly attend cooking while we're in the kitchen. The other thing that we can do is we can try to prevent some of these fires from occurring by simple steps, such as removing clothing, loose clothing, or rags that are close.
Sure, so not a good spot for that.
So we can do that. Absolutely.
Okay, another common thing we want to make sure people understand is the danger of grease fires. First of all, that distraction, we don't want to start the oil here and then go talk to the person at the door that wants to re-roof our house, correct?
That's correct. Some common distractions might be a telephone call that you receive or watching a very interesting TV show, for example.
Okay.
One of the things we want to make sure that happens is that we constantly attend our cooking. While we have the heat on, we want to make sure that we're paying attention.
Okay, I made a mistake, came back to the kitchen, the grease is on fire. Let's remind people, how do we deal with a grease fire on the stove?
First thing we don't want to do is we don't want to add water to it. So some of the simple things that we can do is, if it's safe to do so, turn the heat off and then use something to cover it up. Come in at it from a low angle and then cover it up.
You mentioned the water. Tell us, why don't we want to put water on a grease fire?
So one of the things that happens when you add water to a grease fire is you have almost like an explosion. Water expands 17,000 times when it turns to steam. And that creates a large fireball. And that can injure people very easily.
So instead of putting the fire out, we may make it a whole lot larger.
Absolutely.
Real quick, let's just hit those boilerplate reminders about home fire safety.
So a couple of things that we want to make sure of is, number one, make sure that you have working smoke detectors in your home. It's very important. The other thing is, obviously, if you're not able to take care of your smoke detectors, call the fire department. We'd be more than happy to come on out and either replace your batteries or actually add smoke detectors to your home.
And that's a great point for closing here today. If somebody watching the show is maybe unable to do that, who do they call to get some help with maintaining those smoke alarms?
Call the fire department at 952-826-0339. Ask for Karen.
Great. Jeff, thanks for being here. Important topic. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Aaron.
And we'll return to you, Brian.
Thank you, Aaron.